Hey, everybody, it's the coach. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Up next, we've got a good one on tap between the visiting Houston Texans and the Portland River Hogs. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Houston Texans and the Portland River Hogs. Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis on hand. And this is a game where the defenses, they need to be on their toes because you've got quarterbacks here, yes, that can throw the football, but they can also run it very well, too.
Mobile quarterbacks. Remember, for the longest time, they used to tell the quarterbacks, stay in the pocket. We don't want you outside of it at all. Nowadays, that mobility, truly an asset, and people are game planning for it. As a scout told me recently, we are actually working with what the colleges are giving us nowadays.
Three-quarters of the NFL season are complete. What lurks in our final month? We're underway in Week 14. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So out come the Texans for their opening drive. Leading them out is their quarterback, the former 12th overall pick. Some refer to him as the natural, Deshaun Watson.
He had the numbers of a game last week that if you win, you talk about him being a gritty guy, managing the game, getting it done. But they lost. So obviously 2 interceptions, 1 touchdown pass, that's not going to be good enough. Got to get that changed around.
A first carry now. This is Johnson. He'll wind up getting a yard on the game's first play at second down. And let's take a look at the Texans offense.
With DeAndre Hopkins, I think anyone who's calling plays for him has 0 limitations. And what I mean by that is he's a guy who can move outside, you can move him inside, play him on the left side, on the right side. It doesn't matter. Some guys, they have to have the ball in a certain spot. Not Hopkins. Long, short, intermediate, he just wants the football. And then after that, he usually does some pretty good damage with run after catch.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. So trouble already here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 9. From the gun, here's Watson. Dumping it off for Johnson. And they're going to get him down well short of the first as he can only get this to the 30. It's a 4-yard pickup, and that's going to make it 4th down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. They'll be led out by the number 1 overall pick in the 2019 draft from Oklahoma. It's Kyler Murray.
When I was watching film this week, I had to write a note to myself. 3 touchdown passes in an NFL game, deserves respect, not ho-hum just because they throw it around all the time, and he got his respect. NFC Offensive Player of the Week.
Yeah, it's the ultimate vote of confidence from a week ago. Hey, look, he was great, not his best game ever, but obviously was very good to garner that award. All the talk this week, though, was about let's take that forward now. Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 42. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. 16 yards right off the bat and a first down.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
The 20. It's a big play there. And even 40 yards.
It's not a surprise when you read scouting reports and watch tape because you know he's a heck of a player. But he is so difficult to get down in the open field. They just want to get him the ball and let him do his thing.
After the big play, a chance to finish now on 1st and goal.
Let's set a tone, fellas. Let's set a tone.
They'll try to run this one in. And he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage. Back at the 6. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up 2nd down. 2nd and goal from the 6 this time. Here's Murray. And he finds Howard complete. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. A touchdown saving tackle there. Now it's 3rd and goal. And the big boys up front in the trenches, what do you think of the O-line, Charles?
I love them because this is a group that's so cohesive. They know what the man next to them is going to do at all times, and they operate as a terrific unit.
They're knocking on the door as they come to the line here on 3rd and goal from the 1. To throw, it's Murray. And it's caught. Touchdown. A 1-yard touchdown reception as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. One of the keys to their long winning streak has been scoring first. An ideal drive right there, getting the first 6 points of the ball game.
Do you go back to our meeting with the offensive coordinator? Remember what he told us?
Absolutely.
With some teams, I script to probe in the early part of the game. Other teams, I script to attack. They've been in attack mode for these ball games and continue that in this one.
So that drive spanned 5 plays. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. And on the first drive, 3 and out. I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away.
And rush coming, and he's taken down. That was Patrick Peterson from his quarterback spot whirling in for the sack.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I'd file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Oh, the ball is out. Watson lost it. And this is picked up by the defense. And this will be a touchdown. So the big fella gets on the scoreboard with a return for a touchdown. Good thing he didn't have to go too far, though.
You know the trainers were very happy about that. Imagine having to go get him in the end zone, escort him to the bench, and give him the oxygen. They were loving the fact that he got in without having to run very far.
Extra point right down the middle. And it's now 14-0. So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way. The fumble return for a touchdown. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now out comes Houston. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down.
Plays like we just saw there. That's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
Give them 32 on the play.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great, and what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big game. The loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. Now on 2nd and 13. Watson, he's got Jack Doyle. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. It'll wind up being a loss of 2, and that'll force upon him a 3rd and 14. A pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
And I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? Maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the lost yardage about to develop, but that goes against every instinct of a receiver. They're taught to catch everything, so it's really hard to be mad at him and yell at him for trying to make that play.
And he can only manage to take this thing to the 38, well shy of the 1st down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
And this one is no good. He missed it. And this score will stay right where it is.
Everything looked good. Good snap, good hold. Sometimes, though, the ball just doesn't want to go where you want it. And this one winds up no good.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. They've got things going their way early. 14-0 lead and the football. 1st and 10. And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete. On the defensive side here, the starters for the Texans, they're trying to cover up some holes in the secondary. Right now, bottom 5 in the league against the pass at number 28.
And I think you're going to see some changes in the offseason, whether it's through the draft, free agency, maybe even both. They definitely need some help in the secondary.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Out of the shotgun, it's Jones. And he stopped immediately there. Call it no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd down. Throwing is Murray on 3rd down. Escaping the pressure right. He can run for it, and he will. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. Able to make something out of nothing there. 17 yards and a 1st down.
That's something you have to be aware of as a defense and have to find a way to account for him. And if you're not going to use a spy, you're telling your guys to keep your eyes on him, because when he breaks out and makes plays like that, all he does is hurt you.
Have to at least be able to contain him somewhat. There they could not. Here's a pass swung out left to his running back. And he's taken down inside the 30. 10 more there and another 1st down.
Nice little nifty play for him there. Yeah, that's the ability to read a defense and utilize players that don't often get picked up in coverage easily. And I'm talking about being able to use the backside of the backfield. Because I know that when I used to cover, hey, we got everybody oh, he just snuck out there, and they just got a nice 1st down there.
What do we love to say? Get those backs into space, right? And they were able to do that there. Nice pickup on 1st down. Throwing on 2nd down. Murray. That's caught by Howard. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
On 3rd down, Murray. Got a man open. It's Ross. And he's into the end zone for the receiving touchdown. John Ross, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And his guys find a way to stretch that lead.
Boy, these guys are off to the races, Charles. 20-0 already, extra point pending.
Yeah, you always hear that term. They just boat race someone. Heck, it's car race, motorcycle race, plane race, whatever you want. Right now, they are sprinting past them.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. They begin the drive with Johnson. And he'll get this from the 25 to the 30 for a pickup of 5. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. 21-0 our score after 1. On 2nd down, it's Johnson, and he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3, and now it's 3rd down.
Some of these play calls, I think they're a little conservative, but you know me, because it's easy to sit up in this booth, right, and make all the calls and think I'm going to be correct. But I would like to see them open things up, because otherwise this defense is going to gang up on the run and shut them down.
A fresh set of downs on a gain of 13 there for the Texans.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there, freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
The first down carry here for Johnson. And they'll get to him after a gain of 7 to the 47.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
On 2nd down now, it's Johnson. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. The Texans on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. Out of the gun, Watson. Hit from behind, and he's going to be driven down.
That's 3 sacks now, and that's not much of a surprise to me, nor should it be to you. This team, they lead the league in sacks.
Yeah, they do. This is something that we are starting to witness time and time again. O'Donnell, he's on to punt as he gets this one away. This is taken at the 10. It'll be a 51-yard punt that time. And out will come the offense as they take over. And as this offense makes their way back out, NFC playoff race time, we give you a look at what's going on there. And for them, it's no longer a question of will they make the playoffs. They've clinched the division title. The question, can they hold on to that #1 seed?
And this is where the mental fortitude comes to play, doesn't it? Because now you're not just the coach talking about it. It's team talking about it to each other, supporting each other, carrying each other along, because having that #1 seed means everything in the NFL.
It does. So even though the division title's clinched, shouldn't take the foot off the gas.
No, not at all. Play it all the way through, and I think we've seen that in recent years in the NFL. The teams that play and play to win each and every game, they're the ones to deal with in the playoffs. One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. But here we go on 4th down with Murray. And he's got a man. It's the tight end Howard complete. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. A big roll of the dice on 4th and 1, but it pays off. They convert. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Murray now on 1st down. Benjamin's got it. He's got a first down and then some at midfield. He gets it across the 50 and down work after the use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Again, they'll throw with Murray. Now they go screen. It's complete. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. This offense so far on 3rd down, they've been good. 3 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. Murray now to throw. And that is incomplete.
Right up to that point, I was about to say he's had a pretty good half catching the football, but let's just be honest about it. He should have caught that one.
And he knows that. That was one right in his breadbasket and one he normally catches. Murray and company going for it on 4th. That's to his running back, complete. And they'll get this to the 30-yard line before crossing over out of bounds. The conversion is successful with a sizable gain of 13, and the decision to go for it looks like a smart one. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. And an alley to run. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
Well, partner, for a few years there, we thought this read option play was going to take over the whole NFL. It seemed like everyone was using it. But it has been scaled back considerably in the last few seasons, mainly because people are worried about their...
And he'll take it into the end zone for a touchdown. Ronald Jones, his 14th touchdown now on the year. And his guys are going to add on to their lead.
The touchdown was scored by the runner, but the offensive line, they feel like it's theirs. They blocked that one up perfectly, allowed him easy access to the end zone.
Extra point splits the uprights, and a rout is on here in this first half. So that one a long 11-play drive. And it's Ronald Jones that polishes it off with a touchdown run. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. Typically down in the first half, I might say, oh, you at least need a field goal out of this drive, but they're down to the point where they need a touchdown, don't they?
Yeah, normally, you know me. You've been around me for a while now, right?
Unfortunately.
I'm sorry about that. But normally,
DeAndre Hopkins, he's all alone. Past the 20. Touchdown, Houston. DeAndre Hopkins with touchdown number 7 on the year as they are now on the board here in the first half. Not a whole lot to recap on that drive. Just one play, 75 yards to the house.
Yeah, it's a long way to go. And remember, rarely is it a straight line 75 yards, too. Got to have a little extra in there. So whatever the final number is, a well-deserved seat on the bench, a little oxygen if he wants it as well.
This is taken at the 3. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. Now this offense trotting back onto the field. Let's turn our attention here to Ronald Jones. A good job in the passing game. Decent job in the running game, but really they've been more effective through the air. We'll see if that shifts at all as this goes on.
Thus far, it feels like they're calling this game in reverse. Normally you run to set up the pass. Here it feels like they're passing, hoping to set up the run and be more effective later on in the game.
Yeah, you can do it both ways. We usually talk about it in the reverse, however.
No doubt about it. Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or...
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
A gain of 32 that time.
Well, you don't have to be a genius to watch this game and figure out they've had plenty of success moving the football here in the first half. We've seen exhibits A, B, C, and right on down the line, haven't we?
Yeah, we just saw exhibit Z right there.
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores. And he will take it in for the touchdown from 6 yards away. And his guys find a way to stretch that lead. He was on point throwing the ball right there. He had the big play to get him down close, and then he delivers a touchdown pass on 1st and goal.
And you mentioned the big play that got him down close. I think that big play left him reeling a little bit. They didn't recover from it. And you know they always talk about having to have a short memory on defense after a big play against you. Looks like their memory was a little too long there.
That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Set to take over again, Deshaun Watson and this Texans offense. And how does he rally the troops, so to speak? He's played well, but they're down big on the scoreboard. How does he get his guys going?
To make sure they understand it's not a me game, it's a team game. Everyone has to come together. Everyone has to up the level of play a little bit, including himself, and find a way to make some plays in order to give them a little bit of a spark and rally the team.
We'll see if they can indeed. And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. DeAndre Hopkins with his 2nd touchdown of the game, number 8 on the season. And the Texans get a bit closer. I know this defense knew it coming into the game, Charles, and they know it even more now.
Excitement on a team. Keep your offense moving at a really high level. And it's also how you establish leadership, by playing that well. 3 touchdown passes, that's the way to lead.
Now he's just open for number 4. The catch and run there, good for 16 and a first. Murray now, over 200 yards already in this first half. It's 1st and 10. Murray now on 1st down. Open man is Ross, complete. And he'll be out just a yard or 2 shy of the 30. A really good pickup of 28 yards. So in the 2nd quarter, he's already up over 100 yards receiving now.
And isn't 100 the magic number for a really good game for a receiver? So he got a chance to really shatter that and have a profound effect on this game.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. A loss of 2 there, 2nd down. Hey, a lot of points have been scored in this game against them, but tally that one on the side of the defense.
Do you think maybe, possibly, it could be a little bit of a changer for them? Maybe not a game changer, but a little bit of a momentum one that maybe they can string together some pretty good plays and slow them down. Let's just break this down and make it pretty simple. Key to the drag route, letting the play develop, finding the hole in the defense, and giving your athlete, yes, athlete, a chance to make something happen once he has the ball in his hands.
He's going to have the hook up to Ross. And he will take this one in for a touchdown. John Ross with his 2nd TD of the game, his 6th on the year. And his guys are going to add on to their lead.
I heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that can finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. DeAndre Hopkins and the rest of the offense heading back onto the field. He's done his part, but so far it's been in a losing effort, so they've got to fix something.
But that doesn't mean changing anything, the way they're throwing the ball around and his catches and production. Keep doing that. They're going to have to fix some things likely on defense to try and slow down their opponents.
But so far he's north of 100 yards receiving. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts, as it'll come with 36 ticks to go in half number 1. Throwing on 2nd and 3. Watson, and that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down. So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. A shotgun snap for Watson. And he fires one that's intercepted.
Picked off at the 46. And a return across midfield and to the 46-yard line. Really nice pick there for the reigning NFC Defensive Player of the Week. And a good story on that, he said he didn't even know he won the award. His buddy had to call him. He saw on television and said, hey, congratulations. How about that?
And I'll bet you his buddy said, well, since you didn't know, I'll just go ahead and claim the award, right? And everything that goes along with it. But the reason he won the award the previous week and what we just saw there, instincts, understanding where the play is going and being able to make a play on the football.
The catch and run there, good for 16 and a first. Now a first down carry by Jones. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half.
Right here. At the 30-yard line. Check your height weapon.
Looking to throw on second down. Murray, nowhere to turn here, and he's going to go down. Back at about the 37-yard line. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime.
Let's go, defense.
Murray with a third and long. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he's going to get this to the 31, but that is still well short of what he needed. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. This one from 48 yards away. And his kick is absolutely perfect. So we've reached, due to time constraints, we move you forward in today's broadcast to the beginning of the third quarter. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This is fielded at the goal line. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. So here is the home side to take over on offense. They had a big first half. Now they have a chance to add to that lead here in the opening possession of the second half.
And everyone always asks about halftime adjustments, kind of the key phrase. What did you do at halftime? Well, the way they ran offense in the first half, I think they were very calm, congratulatory, but also what they were saying is don't expect them to be the same on defense. They'll be the ones making the adjustments. Let's see what they do, and we'll attack accordingly.
And we'll see how they attack here. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. That'll wind up a gain of 27 on the catch and run. So a 1st and 10 now in Houston territory at the 38. A little bit of space there for the first down run, as that's going to get him about 5 yards. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down. Murray's going to keep this himself on the RPO. This thrown quickly out to Jones. And he gets into the end zone for the touchdown. Ronald Jones with touchdown number 15 on the year and 2nd of the game as his guys continue to pour it on. Getting your back involved, what's the importance there in the passing game?
Well, oftentimes you can create mismatches because who's going to cover him? And you get him into space, which is where he likes to operate with the ball in his hands. Oftentimes makes people miss, gets that run after the catch, and off he goes.
And into the end zone. Point after, right down the middle. And the lead will swell by 1 more. Scoring summary, 3-play drive. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here's the Texans offense now. They get set to start this third quarter. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues.
Well, they certainly have been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got to just put their ears back and get after him now.
No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Throwing on 3rd down, Watson. He gets this one to Johnson.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. Here's Pat O'Donnell now as he's on to punt for Houston. Taking it about the 16. A great return there of 22 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. So here is the home side to take over on offense. And last time out, another touchdown. I think there may be some empty seats around here by the time the 4th quarter comes around.
Yeah, I have to agree with you because this one's just about decided. But you know who benefits from all those empty seats? Who? You and me, trying to get to the airport.
That's
the roads
true.
will be fairly clear
that is
by the
one
time
positive.
we have to leave the booth.
To throw is Murray. Open man is Howard, the tight end. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. A good pickup there, 21 yards.
And there's another completion to the tight end. And let's face it, it is hard to overthrow a 6'6" target.
It is indeed. Quarterbacks like their speed guys. They like that huge 6'6" target that they've got in him.
They really do, and it reminds me of what one great tight end told me once. He told his quarterback, just make sure you throw it up there, you know, kind of like put up in the top shelf where the kids can't get it.
It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. From the 35 on 2nd down, Murray. And that going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. From the gun on 3rd down, Murray. He's got a 1st down and much more inside the 20. And finally wrestled down at the 11. 23 yards on the play.
The beauty of route running is it doesn't matter what position, everyone's doing the same thing. In this case, tight end, selling the vertical route. Get the defensive back on his heels, break off for the corner, and with good timing, you get a completion as we just saw there.
Completes it to Benjamin. And he's into the end zone for the receiving touchdown. A great effort there with touchdown number 8 on the year as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. Extra point right down the middle. CD, it seemed like
They were so focused on the guys out wide, they forgot about him out of the backfield.
That's a really good point because you've got to communicate, and oftentimes when you start counting receivers, that's exactly what you do. You start from the widest receiver, work your way inside. Who gets lost sometimes? The back in the backfield. That's exactly what happened there.
And he got into the end zone. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. They've got to dig down deep. I mean, they need something right now, really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled.
Partner, join me in a walk to their locker room at the half, okay? Because I think what we would have seen is an offensive coordinator and his assistant coaches getting together all their positions, then coming together as a group, going over adjustments, and then the head coach coming in and just screaming, wake up. Let's get moving, guys.
I'm kind of glad we weren't in there at halftime, actually.
I mean, you think you might have turned it on us, too?
Yeah, but right now, whatever was said hasn't been working. They'll get a couple yards back, but not more than that. They'll be left with 12 yards to go on third down. From the gun, here's Watson. Taken in by the tight end, Doyle. And he'll be stopped at the 27-yard line, well short of the first down marker. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a fourth down.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, hoping he can break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get it to that big frame and hope he can scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
A big kick there. We'll call it 56 yards on the punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. And he's going to lose yardage here. Back to his own 18. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. They'll run it now out of the gun. He's got a first down past the 30. And finally brought down at the 34-yard line. 16 yards, a first down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. And now a first chance for the backup here to throw. Looking for his running back, and he's got it. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. 16 yards, a little deja vu from the previous play where they got 16.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with the football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on second down.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. 7 yards there and a first down.
In my book, that's running the ball well, but with intelligence. How about him keeping the clock moving, staying in bounds?
Yeah, even though it's the third quarter, you're thinking ahead, aren't you? This is where your running game can really help you with a lead in the second half.
I agree totally. It's not just end-of-the-half situations that you worry about the clock. It's throughout the game. And with a lead, stay in bounds. Make them fight harder to try and catch you.
Throwing on first down. Cooper got it complete to Rodgers. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. A gain of 6 there on first. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. And he will take it in for the touchdown. A great play there. His 11th touchdown on the year as his guys continue to pour it on.
Didn't have anything downfield, swung it out to the flat. He did the rest.
Such a staple of so many offenses we see now. You know, in our discussions with offense coordinators, how many times do they tell us, hey, this offense is designed for either a touchdown or a check down? We saw the check down on that play, and boy, was it successful.
We saw a touchdown, too. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. Watson throwing quickly to Hopkins. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27. Back now in the Rose City of Portland, Oregon. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair. From the 27, Watson. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
5th catch of the afternoon, and that gives him a first down. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. To the air yet again, Watson. It's complete to Hopkins. Oh, and the big play's going to get even bigger as penalty flags are down, and I believe they're going to get a face mask penalty tacked on. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post, because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
And there just continues to be nowhere to run. He's bottled up again at the line of scrimmage. They come up here with another shot from the 6-yard line, and it's 2nd and goal now. To Johnson again. Shrugs the tackle.
Nice.
And they'll get him down here at about the 5-yard line. The second down play, not much better than the first. Just a gain of 1 there. The Texans on 3rd down. They've converted a third of their opportunities, 3 for 9. This is 3rd and goal. Now it's Miller. And he fights his way into the end zone for a Texans touchdown. Lamar Miller, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Texans are able to make things a bit more respectable.
And that touchdown, well, it barely puts a dent in this lead. And unfortunately, I'm having too many flashbacks right now. I remember getting beat down like this playing before.
Oh, yeah? College, high school?
College. Not a heck of a lot of fun. I still remember playing and trying to tackle an elusive tailback who ended up scoring 4 touchdowns, 226 yards. He scored so many times and had so many great runs, I knew every note to their school's fight song.
Bet that ice bath felt extra cold afterwards, too.
Oh, no. There was no ice bath. You just tried to get out of there before the reporters got to you.
And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. So here's the home side to take over on offense. The outcome of this one, well, we know who's going to win it. It's just all window dressing at this point. Got me thinking, what's the biggest blowout that you've been a part of as a player, broadcaster?
Well, I'm not going to go to the player part because when I think blowout...
Because you won every game as a player.
No. I think about being blown out. And no one wants to go back to those memories. But, you know, when I was calling college football, I saw a game that, you know, a team put 70. I actually saw it happen twice. A team put 70 on their opponent. And in the NFL, in the 2017 season, I saw one of those changing of the guard games where a team that hadn't been very good before now was dominating and kicking around a team who had been ruling their division.
And that's when you earn your paycheck, right? As the analyst, you got to fill that time.
You've got to know what's going on out there and how it all happened.
Well, obviously, that begs the question, what game was it?
That was Seattle hosting Los Angeles. Their second meeting of the season, and the Rams turned it around from the first one and blew out the Seahawks.
A big play there on the catch and run. 44 yards. Cooper from the gun, he'll throw. Flushed out right. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
Get your backs to the goal line. I can hear my high school coach right now. This is when force meets force. Got to be physical in order to win this battle.
Yeah, that's where the physicality pays off. A nice job. And he is into the end zone for a touchdown. A great effort there. His second touchdown of the afternoon as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. And, my friend, I think it's safe to say that this game is pretty much deceased at this point. It's taken a knee, so to speak.
It is definitely this victory formation. Take the snap, take the knee, call it a night, call it a game, call it whatever. I agree with you totally. I don't think there's much left to get except for those who want to run up the score.
I knew this was over about a minute ago when you took your stat sheet and just flipped it over your shoulder in the trash can.
Yeah, that's similar to the guys cutting tape off right before the game's over. We know this thing's done.
Now a first down throw, Watson. He's going to have the hook up to QT. Shedding the tackler, and it gives him some room. And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. 15 yards, the Texans pick up the first down. So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line. Here's Watson, operating from the gun. And with a flag down, he goes down. So they're able to sack him. Now the penalty looks like it could be holding. Let's find out. So they will take the sack instead of the penalty.
And it takes another down off the series. But the biggest one of all, do you want to tell the guy who just got the sack that it no longer counts?
No.
No, not at all.
To throw on second is Watson. Thomas has got it. Complete. They'll give him a yard on the play, and they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
3rd and long. It's Watson. He gets it to Thomas. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
That's certainly playing down and distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
They'll call that a punt of 59 yards. Tough to do better than that. And the offense will come back out deep in their own territory.
Let's go old school there. That's absolutely a great coffin corner punt. Someone's put some time in working on that, hasn't it?
Seems like every year these guys get better and better. It's amazing how they can command that football through the air.
Yeah, they used to actually practice with hula hoops where they place them and try and put them there. Now a lot of guys use barrels on the sidelines to try and put the football in one.
17 yards on the catch and run. It's a first down. Here's Cooper on first down. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Back to throw is Cooper. Throwing again. And this is incomplete. Great coverage there all around. Really didn't have many options to throw the football.
Very little chance that that one was going to be completed. Every receiver was locked up.
Now Cooper on 3rd down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
How about that? One of the so-called little guys putting the pressure on. That was the strong safety. When I was in college, we often called that a lightning blitz.
He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. Wow, evasive.
Make a miss.
So just a 3-yard return following a punt of 45. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
I want that. Give me that ball. Give me that ball. Give me that ball, defense.
Out of the gun, Watson. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down. So line of scrimmage still at 39 on 2nd and 10. Throwing again, it's Watson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. Watson. And he's going to go down again. Calais Campbell in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's our home team here in possession of the football as we come back. And they have just about put this one on ice as they've got it here, 1st and 10. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Give him 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give him a first down. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last 2 plays. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down. That one looks like he'll throw here. Quick hitter here. It's complete. 20! And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. A very solid gain of 27.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw and give him another 6. It's caught for a touchdown, and the blowout continues. And for them, this train, it just keeps rolling, doesn't it? Well on their way to yet another victory.
Yeah, it's almost a runaway, isn't it? And you just wonder how anyone could stop this. They got full momentum going, full confidence going. But it's not just their own confidence that's leading them. It's the lack of confidence against their opponents now because they see them coming and think, we've got no shot to beat this team.
This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back on the field here. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a loss? DeAndre Hopkins, he's all alone. The 20. And somewhat of a measure of revenge as he's in for the touchdown, but they still trail big time.
He'll take it, but he won't be able to smile about it. And yeah, that touchdown counts for their team. But I think it counts more for the fantasy guys, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's just something maybe positive to look at on film, but this one's over, let's be honest.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that one.
Extra point try now for Crosby. And they make the score a little bit more respectable here in our final quarter of play. They are, by the way, into the fourth quarter now in Oakland. The Jaguars able to come away with a victory there. Nick Foles, 3 touchdown passes to help lead the way. So here is the home side to take over on offense. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. This quarterback now 12 of 15 throwing the ball, 80% so far, and it's 1st and 10. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he's got this down a yard or 2 shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds. A good pickup there, 8 yards on the first down completion. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. 2nd and 2. Throw complete there, Rodgers. Now another timeout called for by the offense. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this fourth quarter of play. Cooper now on 1st and 10. His throw incomplete. He was trying to get it to Hakeem Butler there. And now it's 2nd down. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. They'll run it now out of the gun. Just a gain of a yard there, and now it'll be 3rd down. Looking to speed things up here, going with some tempo. To throw on 3rd down. Cooper. He dropped it. Couldn't hang on in the end zone. So no 6 points, incomplete. And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th.
No. Off.
Cooper throwing on 4th down. And he's got Rodgers. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. Oh, wait, hold everything. A timeout has been called. Seemingly silly with 1 second remaining in this game.
Let's pick it up. It's out of time, guys. Let's get off the field.
Here's Cooper throwing on 1st down. And this will be caught. Well, forget taking the knee. Some late gamesmanship here as they throw for a late touchdown.
I've got to laugh here, and I really don't want to because the old school in me is not happy about this score this late, not necessary. But this is Madden, isn't it?
Yeah.
This is how it works.
Rub it in. Have a day.
I mean, what does it matter? These guys who are playing in this game, there are no feelings
Exactly.
there.
They don't have to face the guy. Well, they might if they're in the same room going head-to-head. But
that's
the
about
virtual guys on the screen don't have to face each other after this one.
In that case, run it up.
So we had action to the very end of this one. The score on the final play that they didn't need to have. They didn't just run out the clock, though. They added to their final total.
Played it all the way to the end. And, you know, some coaches preach that and tell their teams, that's what I want all the time. And they feel like if they don't do it themselves, they're not living up to the message that they're sending out.
So for the home team here, the streak lives as they move to 13-0 now on the year. And they will hit the road next week for a date with the Jacksonville Jaguars.